So today we're doing a tag video. I want to know from you guys what fragrance really moved you or what fragrance changed your life. Let's do it. So what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a fragrance or the fragrances that change your life. That's the name of the tag video that I'm starting. I actually went to a Sandu in Milan and I met with a lot of fellow reviewers, like-minded individuals. Meeting up with these like-minded individuals and reviewers, fellow reviewers, we talked about a lot of the great fragrances that we actually discovered at Sandu 2019 and also some of the fragrances from our past, fragrances that really moved us and kept us going. It's actually just easy, very quick tag, just 5 little questions to get to know a little bit more about our journey, our fragrance passion. So starting with the number 1, what was the fragrance that started it all? What was the fragrance that really got us hooked? What is the fragrance that got you bitten by the bug? So to me, it has to be this particular fragrance right here. This is a Zaur Pour Homme. This is a 1978 fragrance. Just an outstanding, stunning fougere. It's one of my favorites because it's so relevant to me. I was about 7 years old, first grade. My father gave me a mini from the box set, the gift set that he got, and I actually dozed myself into that fragrance. I poured the whole thing on me, went to class. Needless to say, I was removed from class because no one could stand how strong I smelled. But afterwards, the dry down was actually nice, and I was reinstated back in class. But all in all, this is a great fougere. I have a ton of vintage bottles of this fragrance just because it's so near and dear to my heart that I never want to be without it. So this is the one fragrance that truly moved me and I got hooked. I was bitten by the bug the moment I felt how this fragrance made me feel and what kind of reaction it actually evoked from people. So that's my first answer right here. Second tag question is, what fragrance was the fragrance you wore the most? What was the longest signature scent, if you will, that you actually wore for the longest time? For me, it's this one right here, Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, the 1994 until 2000 edition with the sticker on. I absolutely love. This is another aromatic fougere. It is just so amazing. This is a transcendental, timeless kind of a scent. I actually wore this fragrance for the longest time. This was actually my signature scent from 1996 all the way until 2005. So needless to say, this fragrance was a part of my life. Many different great memories attached to this one. The birth of my children, first job interviews, I mean, you name it, this fragrance was there with me. So it is near and dear to me. I have a couple bottles of this vintage edition. I actually have a couple of the modern Germany and UK editions, which are a fraction of what this fragrance once was. If you can get a bottle with the sticker, I'm telling you, this, as you guys heard me say over and over again, is as good as it gets. The third tag question is, what fragrance got you started into the niche world? As you see here, most of my fragrances that I'm going to talk about here are going to be vintage and designer fragrances because I didn't really hear about niche fragrances until the late 2000s. Right around 2008, 2009 is when I really got my glimpse into the niche world. When I got this fragrance here, which was my first niche purchase, I actually paid retail for this fragrance. This is Bond No. 9's New Harlem. If you like the works of Maurice Roussel, which he works amazingly with the note of lavender, this is a perfect example of that. This fragrance here is a gourmand, but it's really a coffee scent. It is just a stunning juice. You have lavender, you have this maple syrup, breakfast kind of a coffee concoction, if you will. This is just one of those mouth-watering, such pleasure to wear it type scents. I absolutely love this fragrance. It's definitely one of my all-time favorites because, again, it was my first niche purchase. This happens to be, I think, my 6th bottle from 2009. So in the past 10 years, I've wore a few bottles of this. So now I just pick up a 50 ml because I don't wear as much as I used to. But as you can see, this half of this bottle is gone. So I truly enjoy this, especially in the fall and winter time. So this was my first niche experience, and this is going to be the third tag question of this tag video. And I want to know from you guys, what was your first, niche experience that really moved you? Now, I watch other things. There are other things that I do enjoy. I have different hobbies, like watches, for example. And in the watch world, there's something that they call the Holy Grail type watch. So I want to ask you guys a question. What is your Holy Grail fragrance that you have, that you own, or that you owned? I really want to know right now. Let me know what you guys are very damn proud of actually finding. Myself, happens to be this particular doozy right here, Peteau per Homme. This is a 1980 original formulation. I absolutely love this fragrance, and it took me over a decade to find it. And I was very, very fortunate to find a brand new bottle of this fragrance. The person actually had it, was very nice to me, did not charge me an astronomical amount, because I know this fragrance fetches anywhere from $500 to $1,000 out there in the gray market. So it is not an easy fragrance to have, but it's definitely one that I'm damn proud to own. This is a perfect fougere is what I like to call. This is a masterpiece. I have never tried anything as good as this, and this is why it is my holy grail. And I want to know what you guys watching this video have had, or if you have right now, what you own that has that feel of, my God, this is my holy grail fragrance that I own, and I'm so proud to own it. This is the one for me. Now, the last tag question here is going to be a very fun one. What is the one fragrance that, and it's tied in with the holy grail, what is the one fragrance that you have never tried that you really want to try? But it has to be something that's really hard to find. For me, it is Shiseido's Nombre Noir. It has a very dark and weird story attached to it. You know, bottles were destroyed because sales weren't very good. There's a suicide thing going on in there. So really try to find this story if you can and read into it, because it's just fascinating what a fragrance has as far as how it evokes emotions and things that can transpire if it goes sour. In this case, of course, it went sour. But again, a fragrance that it's so hard to find. When you do find it, you're talking about 1,000 plus for a small bottle. So even if I can just get a decant and try this fragrance, I would be very happy, because I'm very fascinated and always wanting to try this fragrance, because I've never actually seen a bottle. To me, this is like a unicorn. Does it really exist? So that's the one for me, Shiseido's Nombre Noir. So I'm going to tag 5 people to get this tag going. I really look forward to seeing what you guys are going to talk about, what fragrances really moved you and what fragrances changed your life. The first person I'm tagging is Joe from JoeSCENTme. Can't wait to see your pics. The second person is going to be Chris from Fragmental UK. Both gentlemen I met at the Essence 2019. It was a pleasure to meet them and hang out with them, so I can't wait to see your pics. Another person, a third person that I met at Essence 2019 is Dana Sandu. She has a channel called A Nose Knows. Dana, I can't wait to see your pics. The other gentleman I'm tagging here is somebody that I've met before. It's going to be Manny from Cascade Scents. Manny, we talked about this a little bit at the Essence, one of the parties. I think it was Nishan's party. So I can't wait to see your pics, bud. And last but not least, I'm going to tag Curly Scents. Andrea from the Curly Scents. That's her channel. She's really made an impact. I love her, you know, very bubbly, very happy, you know, way she presents her videos. Again, all the links to all the channels are going to be linked in the description, guys. Needless to say, go show them some love, go show them some support. Ladies and gents, thanks so much for your support. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, fragrance is emotion in motion, so wear what truly moves you. See you real soon.